Actually, they asked to reverse it. I thank the gentleman. Good afternoon to the ranking member. It is interesting, you know, when you quote one part of the article, it's interesting what the headline is on the Reuters article concerning the speaker. The headline is, quote, Boehner says would support U.S. Export-Import Bank closure. So that's what Reuters considers to be newsworthy in the speaker's comments. Mr. Hochberg, as always, welcome. And again, you're always welcome to the 5th District of Texas, which you have been kind enough to visit. Next time you come, perhaps I could suggest where the best cheese and onion enchiladas are to be found. It's Matt's in Lakewood, by the way, should you come back again. You spoke about XM supporting 100,000 plus jobs, but it's interesting because Delta Airlines says you are costing American airline jobs. Cliff Natural Resources says you are costing American iron ore jobs. Valero says that you are costing American oil refining jobs, so that's a dubious claim on your part of quote-unquote supporting jobs. You say you return money to the taxpayers. According to the Congressional Budget Office, as you well know, if you used fair value accounting, Main Street accounting, which just about every business that you quote-unquote support uses, you would be costing the taxpayer $2 billion over the budget window. With respect to the small businesses that the ranking member was kind enough to point out to me, well, here's a small business, Sonic Air Systems in Brea, California, 40 employees. Their owner said, quote, XM is arguably another form of corporate welfare. I understand bigger companies want that cheaper money for their customers to buy planes and bulldozers, but should the taxpayers fund that? Well, here's another small businessman, Chris Roofer, Morningstar Company, also in California, quote, XM is a case study in corporate welfare. When a company profits from the bank's support, it pockets the money. If it defaults, taxpayer pockets get picked. It's private gain at the expense of public pain. So that's the voice of small business that many of us are listening to as well. I wish to follow up on a question that was asked by Chairman Huizinga. I still don't quite get it. So, Chairman Hochberg, you speak about China, Inc. You frequently talk about this and being competitive with China. So, we've got $18.4 million guaranteed to the state-owned XM Bank of China in 2014. XM authorized $292 million guarantee for state-owned China Southern Airlines in December of 13. XM authorized $68.5 million for Semiconductor Manufacturing International Shanghai, also state-owned. $300 million guarantee for state-owned ICBC Financial Leasing Company. Is it your assertion, Mr. Hochberg, that the best way to compete with China is to subsidize China?
Congressman, we don't subsidize any transaction. Customers pay a fee.
Well, Mr. Hochberg, I think the Congressional Budget Office has a different opinion. I'll respect your opinion. I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to their opinion. Since last we spoke, as has been pointed out, at the time that you last appeared before us, Mr. Gutierrez had been indicted for accepting bribes. He's now pled guilty to 19 counts of bribery and kickbacks. According to the Partnership for Public Service, their survey of small government agencies has already been alluded to. Your employees, when asked whether they could, quote, disclose a suspected violation of any law, rule, or regulation without fear of reprisal, only 50% said yes, a pretty staggering figure to me. Since you have taken the helm of XM, 65 matters have been referred to prosecution, 31 arrest warrants, 85 indictments, 48 criminal judgments, decades of combined prison time, $250 million in fines, restitution, and forfeiture. And when we look at this same group of small government agencies, you're almost leading the pack when it comes to investigations and when it comes to indictments. At the end of the last fiscal year, I believe you had 41 pending investigations. The Farm Credit Administration had 3. The Commodities Future Trading Commission had 0. The Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation had 24. And so when I look at all the various small agencies of which you were compared, I believe you have roughly 480 some odd employees. Is that correct, Mr. Hochberg?
That's
correct. You didn't quite get the gold medal. Apparently, that goes to the Railroad Retirement Board. But in the category of small agencies—
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, the gentleman's
Give me
time
5
has
seconds to
expired.
wrap up. The competition of corrupt and sordid matters, you clearly take the bronze medal. And should this agency be reauthorized, Mr. Hochberg, I hope you will spend less time traveling and lobbying and more time running the bank. Thank the Chairman. I yield back.